I'm doing it all by myself. I need.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just
Try
gonna
to go a
be your
little
cutter.
Okay. This was an establishment, and Little Mo worked for them. And he said, Little Mo, we're really losing business. Let's get that. Find me some business, or I won't have any. And Little Mo went out. I'll cut the cards. Okay. So Little Mo said, I don't know where I'll go, but here we go. He went 1 block. He went 2 blocks. He went 3 blocks. He went 4 blocks. He went 5 blocks. He went 6 blocks. And he went 7 blocks. And he went 8 blocks. And he went 9 blocks. And he went a sharp block. And he came home. And he said, well, Little Mo, he said, did you have any luck? He said, oh, yes, sir. I sure did. I brought back some business. I found you 4 gentlemen. Business. He said, oh, Little Mo, where'd you find them? He said, they were sitting in the 6, 7, and 8 club. He said, well, that's really good, Little Mo. Here's a $2 tip. Well, these kings, they chatted with each other. They got bored. And he said, Little Mo, they need something to drink. Go out and try to find something to drink. So cut the cards. Okay. So Little Mo started. And he went 1 block. He went 2 blocks. And he went 3 blocks. And he went 4 blocks. And he went 5 blocks. And he went 6 blocks. And he went 7 blocks. And he went 8 blocks. He went 9 blocks. And he went a sharp block. And he came home. He said, well, Little Mo, he said, what did you get? He said, sir, he said, I brought back 4 bottles of Canadian Ace. He said, oh, good for you, Little Mo. I'm so proud. But he said, now, he said, I heard them talking that they'd like to have some women around. Please go out and get some women. So Little Mo went out. And Little Mo went 1 block. He went 2 blocks. He went 3 blocks. He went 4 blocks. He went 5 blocks. He went 6 blocks. And he went 7 blocks. And he came home. And he said, Little Mo, how was everything out there? He said, well, I have found 4 women. And he said, where were those women sitting, Little Mo? He said, oh, sir, they're sitting in the 6, 7, and 8 club. And he said, very good, Little Mo, here's a $2 tip. So after a while, these women decided they would like to dance with some younger men. And so he sent Little Mo out to see if he could find it. And Little Mo went 1 block. He went 2 blocks. He went 3 blocks. He went 4 blocks. He went 5 blocks. And he went a sharp block. And he came home. And he said, well, Little Mo, he said, did you find anything? He said, yes, I sure did. I have 4 young men. They can dance. He said, very little, very, very good. Here's a 6, 7. Oh, where'd you find them? 6, 7, and 8 club. He said, that's good, Little Mo. There's a $2 tip. So after a while, the men decided they weren't women because they weren't wanted. And so these women decided they were having a lot of fun. So he said, they're bored. They gave me a $50 bill, and I don't have change. could you go out and get me some change for a 50? And little Mose, that shouldn't be so hard. He went 1 block, and he went 2 blocks, and he went 3 blocks, he went 4 blocks, and he went a real short block, and he came home. And he said, well, little Mo, he said, what did you get for the 50? He said, oh, he got 4 10s and 2 5s. And he said, oh, aren't you afraid to carry all that money? He said, no, sir, I always carry a 45. He said, you are really, really smart and wise. He said, little Mo, he said, how old are you? He said, I'm 34. He said, do you have any children? And he said, yes, I have 2. And he said, how old are they, little Mo? I'm really curious. He said, they're 3 and 4. He said, well, little Mo, you should, the money's in poker because everything's broke now. Go out and play poker. He said, I can't. I just can't. It's not my forte. I played one time and I had 4 9s. But this dude beat me with a 4, 5, 6, 7, and an 8 of hearts.